All right. So yeah, today I'm gonna give you all introduction on Raspberry Pi. Before I do so, let me give y'all a quick introduction on myself. My name's Felix. I'm a young professional. Graduated from University of Texas at Austin about 3 years ago with a degree in petroleum engineering. I now work at an oil and gas manufacturing company called Weir Oil and Gas. So I was actually introduced to CIE about a year ago by a colleague of mine and found it to be an amazing organization and eventually joined on as a volunteer. Okay. So, excuse me. So I'm here today to give you a brief introduction on Raspberry Pi, share my first experiences with it, and also show you some other cool projects that you can do with Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi is a single board computer. It was created to teach people like you and me about electronics and coding. You can see right here in the picture, it's incredibly small computer. For size, it's pretty much a size of a credit card. It was released in 2012, and since then there have been four different models released. Unlike the normal computers that you see at Best Buy or Apple, Raspberry Pi is an open source system, which means you can customize it in so many different ways, and there are a lot of fun ways to interact with it. So who's Raspberry Pi for? Raspberry Pi is for anyone, ranging from the beginner trying to learn about robotics all the way to, say, an astronaut. In fact, there are two Raspberry Pis orbiting the Earth right now, conducting experiments on the International Space Station. Thought that was pretty neat. Okay. So with that, I do want to share with all of you my first experiences with Raspberry Pi. Just to preface, before a few months ago, I didn't really know what Raspberry Pi was. My background isn't in computer science or electrical engineering. But after playing around with it for the past couple of weeks, I've been able to learn so much, and it was a lot of fun doing so. And I think all of you would have a similar experience. So right here, as you can see on my screen, to the left is the Raspberry Pi kit. That includes the Raspberry Pi itself, an SD card, enclosure, all the basic stuff you need for it. And then on the right is the electronics component kit, which includes all the basic hardware that you would need to build your first project. So like all the wires, the buttons, the breadboard, etc. Okay. Okay, so after about an hour of tinkering and playing around with my kit, I was able to put together a simple project. And let me play a quick video for you. So what I was basically essentially able to do was wire up my Raspberry Pi to an LED light, write a basic program, telling it to flash on and off. Very simple stuff, right? But after that, I built onto it further and expanded on it, added a button, changed up the code a little bit, and was able to control the LED light with this button. And really, like, this is just the beginning. Like, this example could go so much further. Like by adding a Google Voice AI kit, you can make yourself a voice activated light. You know, the possibilities are limitless with this. Okay. Oop, let's not play that again. So what's next? For me personally, I had so much fun doing this, and I'm going to continue to learn and build more projects. There are literally unlimited possibilities, like I said, with Raspberry Pi, and it's an exciting journey to expand your creativity and skills. I do want to share with you all the Raspberry Pi website for some other fun projects that you can do. So let me switch over. All right, so this right here is official Raspberry Pi website. It's raspberrypi.org. And they have a section dedicated to a complete selection of fun projects that you can do. So like I mentioned earlier, here's one where you can build an LED light that's controlled by Google Voice AI. This one is really neat that I eventually want to build. It's called Build a Robot Buggy. And with just a few extra components, such as a motor and some wheels, you're able to build your own buggy and program it to move however you like. You can teach it how to, chase your cat or dog around the house, and they provide all the basic code that you would need in a step-by-step process. Another one I thought was really neat is building your own weather station. So instead of checking the weather on your phone every morning, you can build a real live weather station, outside of your home that tracks real live data, and you can collect it and use it however you want. And again, it's just really basic components that you need. It's powered by the Raspberry Pi, and it gives you all the instructions and yeah, very detailed breakdown on what you can do. So I do encourage y'all all to check out the website at some point. Gives you a lot of fun ideas, and you can expand on those and be creative with it. But yeah, that wraps up my introduction. Thank you all again for tuning in.